A lot of things going on in the news today. A lot of things going on. So much so that I don't even have a name, a topic for today's lesson. What did you call it? What did you call today's lesson? NFL and Charlottesville. Okay, before we get to those two topics, I want to open up with a little bit of scriptural prophecy as well as history regarding the name. I ain't going to forget the Negro. Let's open up with who's reading for me? Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 1, please. And by the end of the class, remind me to discuss Canada. I want to discuss Canada. Don't let me forget. Don't worry, Captain Shem. Don't worry. Don't cry. It's going to be okay. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 1. A good name.
A good name
is better than precious ointment.
Is better than precious ointment. Now, some of you in here choose these magnanimous names, and it's applaudable. Your name means light of the rising sun. But meanwhile, you are an adulterer, a liar, a thief, or a monthly prognosticator. You do not have a good name. Sisters, too. You ever see sisters pick some of these names with 13 letters? You can't pronounce. Only one can pronounce it is her. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, she's wicked as hell. So read it again.
A good name is better than precious ointment.
A good name is better than precious ointment. So a good name, A, it goes into the name that is given you or chosen, the meaning of the name, as well as the reputation behind the name. For example, Judas Iscariot, his name was Judah. That's a good name. Yahweh's praise, that's what it means. But he betrayed the Son of God. So he did not have a good name. But he had the name itself was great. All right? Now, from there, give me Proverbs 22 and 1. Y'all bear with me. I'm building somewhere.
Proverbs 22, verse 1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches.
You see that? A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. I'll give you an example. The forefather Tobit, his name means goodly or good. Okay? He had a great name. So much so that when he lost his job, the people of Israel supported him and took care of him and his family. Why? Because he had a good name. Everyone loved him. From there, read on. You didn't finish that.
And loving favor rather than silver and gold.
Give me Hosea chapter 12, verse 3 and 4. But go into the history.
Hosea chapter 12 and verse 3. He took his brother by the heel in the womb.
Now this is talking about the forefather Jacob. He took his brother by the heel. Go ahead.
In the womb. And by his strength.
He
had power with God.
I love that. And with his strength. And by his strength he had power with God. Go ahead.
Yea, he had power over the angel.
It says yes. Jacob had power over the angel. Go ahead.
And prevailed. He wept and made supplication unto him. He found him in Bethel, and there he spake with us.
Remember what he saw in Bethel. He saw a gateway that led to the kingdom of heaven. He said through this gate, he saw angels ascending and descending. Okay, that's where they got that movie. What's the name of that movie? Stargate. Thank you. What the hell are you talking about? Just yelling wrong stuff out. Focus. Just focus. Stay with me. Thank you. From there, let's go back regarding that history in Genesis 32 and verse 24.
Genesis chapter 32, verse 24.
Come on.
And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day.
Now, you get these dumb Kemetic people. They go, see, it says a man. It wasn't an angel. That's why you got to go with Hosea, where it tells you it was an angel that you wrestled with. Okay, read it again.
And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day.
Imagine wrestling with somebody until the dawn breaks. You know how you get in a fight and you be tired within 2 minutes, 3 minutes, huffing and puffing. Jacob was bad. He had to be bad to wrestle with an angel to the breaking of the day. That's all night to the morning. Go ahead.
And when
I'd love to see that. That'd be a good kung fu movie. Go ahead.
And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh.
What verse you at?
Verse 25.
Go ahead.
And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh.
The angel will pow hit him in his thigh. Go ahead.
And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him.
So you know Jacob had a limp the rest of his life after that. Nobody show that in the movies, do they? Go ahead.
And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh.
The angel then said, let me go, the day breaketh. Go ahead.
And he said, I will not let thee go except thou bless me.
So our forefathers said, I'm not letting you go even with my broken hip until you bless me. Go ahead.
And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob.
Now you know Jacob means supplanter. That's what it means. Go ahead. Yes, and there's no J in the Hebrew, Yaakov or Jacob. Go ahead. For you Hebrew buffs out there. You fake Hebrew buffs. Go ahead.
And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel.
Now he's going to tell you what the name means.
For as a prince hast thou power with God.
That's what Israel means. He, prince of God. That's what Israel means. The I part is the he. Well, okay, the Yah is the Yah sound. That's he. Then you got the Shra that refers to prince. Okay, and then the L is God. He, prince of God. That's what our forefathers' name was changed to. Go ahead.
And with men, and hast prevailed.
Go ahead.
And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore it is that thou dost ask.
Wherefore is it?
Wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there.
So, right there, I want to pause right there and see what happened. So that's where we get the name Israel. Okay, that's where we get that name. He, Prince of God. He is a Prince of God. Give me Deuteronomy 28:37. But what happened? What happened historically? Moses warned us. He did warn us.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Now let's explain that, a proverb and a byword. That means two things. Number one, our nationality would be changed. Number two, our surnames would be changed. Bear with me, I'm building. I'm going somewhere. Just follow along. When did this start? Let's get an example. Give me 2 Kings 23. Now, you read about it in Egypt first, when Joseph's name was changed to Zaphnath-Paneah. So that was the beginning of it. But that was before Moses had gave this prophecy. So I'm starting after Moses gave the prophecy. Go to 2 Kings 23, verse 34.
2 Kings 23, verse 34.
Uh-huh.
And Pharaoh Necho made Eliakim, the son of Josiah, king in the room of Josiah his father, and turned his name to Jehoiakim.
And changed his name to Jehoiakim. Go ahead. Was that it?
And took Jehoias away, and he came to Egypt and died there.
So what I want you to see, when the nations got us captive, they changed our names. Okay, from there, give me 2 Kings 24, the next chapter, and verse 17.
2 Kings 24, verse 17. And the king of Babylon made Mattaniah, his father's brother, king in his stead, and changed his name to Zedekiah.
And changed his name to Zedekiah. So I'm showing you what the rulers of the nations did. They customarily changed our names that reflected their gods and their kings. From there, give me Daniel 1, 6, and 7.
Daniel chapter 1, verse 6. Now among these were of the children of Judah, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names. For he gave unto Daniel the name of Belteshazzar, and to Hananiah of Shadrach, and to Mishael of Meshach, and to Azariah of Abednego.
Now what's funny is that when you discuss the three Hebrew boys, we always mention their Babylonian names. Very rarely do we say the name Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah, or Daniel. We'll say Right. We'll say Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. That's the names we know, the Babylonian names. Now watch this. Give me Esther 1 and 7.
Esther chapter 2, verse 7.
Thank you.
And he brought up Hadassah.
And he brought up Hadassah.
That is Esther.
That is Esther. Esther is a Persian name. It comes from the word Ashtoreth or Easter. That's the pagan name that the Persians gave her. Her Hebrew name was Hadassah. Okay? From there, 2 Maccabees 6 and 6 is really when the nations really got on us about Deuteronomy 28:37. Come on. Come on.
2 Maccabees 6 and 6.
Listen good.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
You could not profess your nationality under the Greeks. See, the other nations allowed us to profess our nationality, but they changed our names. Under the Greeks, they said not only are your names going to be changed, your identities will be changed. You cannot call yourselves Jews. You cannot call yourselves Israelites ever again. That was the ultimatum. That was the credo or credence given by Antiochus. Okay? From there, give me Isaiah 65 and 15.
Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 15.
Here we go.
And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen.
And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. Go ahead.
For the Lord God shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name.
So that's why we're called African Americans, Haitians, Jamaicans, Bajans, okay, Liberians, Puerto Ricans. I know it's Puerto Rican. I just like saying Puerto Rican. My mom always say Puerto Rican. I used to always correct her. She smacked me. So now it's just stuck in my head. Puerto Rican, Dominican, Mexican, all these things. This is what has occurred to us historically. Now, I'm going to show you a video. Remember, we left our name for a curse. I want I don't know, his last name is Tomlinson. Ladanian Tomlinson. LT. I want you, and we're going to go to 21 minutes. And guess what? Some of y'all in here can't get mad at the brother, because just like him, some of y'all in here watch what he says. You just watch.
If this was my last day on earth, and this my final speech, this is the message I'll leave with you. The story of a man I never met. My great-great-great-grandfather George. 170 years ago, George was brought here in chains on a slave ship from West Africa. His last name, Tomlinson, was given to him by the man who owned him. Tomlinson was the slave owner's last name. What extraordinary courage it must have taken for him to rebuild his life after the life he was born to was stolen. How did he reclaim his identity, his dignity, when he had no freedom to choose for himself? I grew up on the land of a former slave plantation. And although I didn't know this as a child, it is where my great-great-great-grandfather tilled the soil. A few years ago, I visited that same plantation in Central Texas with my family and stood in the slave quarters where he lived. It's now named Tomlinson Hill. My name began with the man who owned my great-great-great-grandfather. Now, it's proudly carried by me, my children, my extended family.
I can't hear no more. We can cut it right there. This is that nigga stuff I'm talking about. I can't take it. No, he didn't start good. He started wrong. As soon as he opened his mouth, he was bad. But guess what? Too many of y'all really can't get on him because some of y'all sitting right up in here. Right, y'all, what's up? Right, Claude? Oh, yeah. Got the same thing.
I got something
right,
in my eyes,
Shem?
Bishop.
Now, give me 2 Chronicles 7:14. Give me a second. I got to go there. Y'all, the Negro just love that slave master's name. You Puerto Ricans too. Just love that slave master's name. Wow. He went proudly. The name was branded in the nigga's back. And he said, I wear it proudly. Frame that name. Tomlinson. Wow. This is some crazy. Read that.
If my people, which are called by my name.
Now, this is a famous church scripture. My mama used to always quite ask her, but what that mean? You know, I was on the radio with some ministers the other day. I asked the minister from Sierra Leone, what did that mean? The dude said, whoever believes in Jesus, whether you Baptist or Catholic, that's what it's talking about. I said, you're crazy. Christianity is worse than crack. Read it again.
If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wickedness, their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin.
So if my people, which are called by my name, give me Deuteronomy 28:10. Deuteronomy 28:10.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 10. And all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of thee.
Who is he talking to? Israel. We are called by the name of the Lord. That's who he's talking about. Give me Baruch 2:15. In the Apocrypha, Baruch 2:15.
Baruch chapter 2, verse 15. That all the earth may know that thou art the Lord our God, because Israel and his posterity is called by thy name.
Do you hear that? You heard what the Bible says? Israel is called by the name of the Lord. That's why our forefather was called Israel. He is a prince of God. That's what the L at the end refers to. The Lord's name. Okay? Give me Sirach 36:12.
Sirach 36:12. O Lord, have mercy upon the people that is called by thy name.
You hear that? Read it again.
O Lord, have mercy upon the people that is called by thy name, and upon Israel, whom thou hast named thy firstborn.
Y'all hear that? Now watch this. Give me Isaiah 44. Y'all know this one. I must have read it enough times. But in case you forget and or have forgotten, we're going to revisit Isaiah 44:1. Read down.
Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 1. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen.
Here we go.
Thus saith the Lord that made thee, and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jeshurun, whom I have chosen. For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty.
That's talking about our waking up. Pouring water upon what?
Upon him that is thirsty.
Being thirsty for the truth. That's what it's talking about. Read.
And floods upon the dry ground.
And we are the dry ground. He's pouring floods upon us. Read.
I will pour my spirit upon thy seed.
I will pour my spirit upon thy seed. Go ahead.
And my blessing upon thine offspring.
Watch this.
And they shall spring up as among the grass.
That's us waking up to the truth, acknowledging who we are, what happened to us. Read.
As willows by the watercourses. One shall say, I am the Lord's.
One shall say, I am the Lord. That's the process of waking up. One shall say, this is different eras of time. One shall say, I am the Lord's. Read.
And another shall call himself by the name of Jacob.
That's you that would have an alias. One shall call himself by the name of Jacob, meaning your real name might be Muhammad Rahim or Tyrone Biggums. But you see come around us and say, oh, my name is Gaba Ya'ala or something like that. Read that part again.
And another shall call himself by the name of Jacob. And another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord and surname himself by the name of Israel.
Now that's the next level right there. That's the Israelites that's not afraid. That's the Israelites that say, you know what, I'm getting rid of the name Tomlinson. That's the slave master's name. I rebuke that name. I condemn that name. I'm leaving that name. Don't call me that no more. You know, don't call me black no more.
No.
Don't call me Tomlinson no more.
No more.
No more. So he says, you want to subscribe with your hand the name of Israel. Okay, why? Because you're making, believe it or not, your name makes a political statement on its own. You never have to open your mouth. When people see your name, it will reveal whether you are awake or asleep. When you go anywhere and they look up your name, they say, what's your name? Tyrone Biggums. Oh, that nigga still asleep. Hey, how you doing, Tyrone? You want to work in the factory over here? Have at you. Okay? But when you change your name to Israel, they go, he or she knows something. Where'd you get, you hear the questions. Where'd you get that name from? That is a powerful name. Did your mother give you that? Where is it from? It's saying something without saying a word. All you got to do is just smile. They know something. This nigga here is awake. Watch him. That's what they do. Everybody understand that?
Yeah. Bishop, that means they will never have you the nigger house. They will keep you in the field.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, yes.
Okay, I live in Long Island. One day I was going to pay something, and I was speeding up a little bit. An officer comes right behind me and stops me. I give him my license. He looks at it. It says, this is real? I says, yeah. He's looking at my name. My name says Joseph Israel.
Oh, praise. See there?
It's saying
what's your name? No,
Joseph Israel. And he's looking at the name and says, okay, listen, if everything goes well, I'll let you go. So he went and checked everything. Everything checked out, and he let me go.
You see that? You see that right there?
I'm telling you, man.
Y'all see that thing?
Yeah,
See, now, if your name was Rodriguez, you would have got 5.
Yeah.
5 tickets. We're going to give Julio Rodriguez here 5 tickets. Now, some of you may ask, well, what if I want to keep the name Nigga Coon? You keep the name Nigga Coon. That's between you and God. It ain't had nothing to do with me. Some of you say, oh, it ain't that serious. Okay, nigga, then you keep the name Nigga Coon. Nigga.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube